Hey guys, all of your memories are stored off-site. Everyone in the United States has been scanned, classified as an asset, a threat, or an expendable. Once you're considered to be a threat, you're going to have full-time monitoring. It's going to be extracting your EEG at all times using remote neural monitoring. Your EEG is read from afar using radar equipment. It is then decoded, and your thoughts, which is irrelevant. I don't really care if somebody wants to read your thoughts. I don't really care. What they're trying to determine, the system they've used to determine whether you're a threat or not, is then used to extract your EEG, which is all of your memories. All of your memories are stored and then replayed back to you over and over again. Now, if you're watching this as a targeted individual, you've figured it out. And the only reason you figured it out is because every other technique to kill you or slow you down didn't work. And your symptoms got so bad for reasons we can't always explain. And of course, we have the diplomats in Cuba and around the world. Why did their symptoms appear? Why did the system, the AI running the system, decide to do that to them? It's a very good question. But back to your memories. Over the last 20 years, we've seen in the last 25 years a very almost instantaneous overnight change in human behavior. Now, 20, 25 years later, backed up by a 600% increase in drug overdoses. Teen suicide rate has doubled. Preteen suicide rate has tripled. The divorce rate has skyrocketed. Chronic illness, exponential rise in chronic illness and pharmaceutical use. Mass shootings. All of those things are caused by the same thing. Now, the reason why these people are dying of drug overdoses is because they're stuck in a loop of trauma. Anytime you've had something bad happen to you, your memory, your EEG was being read, your memories were being deciphered. The EEG is being read with a radar system. The radar is just bouncing off everybody at all times. It's incredibly simple. This radar is giving us this picture. Each one of these is a water droplet. Each one of these could be a human if you wanted it to be. As it comes back, it brings back information, including your EEG. That EEG is then deciphered using remote neural monitoring. And stored, and then it can be replayed back to you. Those memories are replayed over and over and over again. They're mixed in with holograms. Let's say someone's had traumatic experiences. You replay the traumatic experiences. You then follow those up with a hologram, which is just an image of, in your mind's eye, so to speak, or it would look like a memory, an image of, say, pills. That's why the oxy crisis has gone the way that it did. These people are, on some level, targeted individuals. They're threats. Everyone's a targeted individual because that term comes from Bioeffects of selected non-lethal weapons. The term means to have radio frequencies used to monitor monitor your thoughts and or alter your behavior. So everyone's a target. But once you're a bit of a threat, it's going to use various techniques to harm you and slow you down, and if need be, ideally kill you. So let's take someone with the opioid crisis. Your memories, your traumatic memories, are replayed over and over and over again. That causes stress. You're stressed out. You want to escape from that stress. People use drugs and alcohol to escape and to self-medicate. You play them bad memories over and over and over again. The person self-medicates. You play the memory, then you show a hologram of a pill, and then you follow with the V2K of, I should probably go eat some oxys. And you play that loop. Bad memory, self-medicate, show them what they should self-medicate with, make them think they thought it as a natural thought with V2K, which is synthetic telepathy, obviously, and then they go and they use the pills. Now, the system is, of course, causing anxiety. We know that from the FCC report on the Havana syndrome. More than two-thirds of them reported things like depression, anxiety, fatigue. You feel like crap all the time. Well, the system loads you down with fatigue and anxiety. It replays your bad memories over and over and over again so you feel terrible. And then it gives you an image of pills or alcohol or cheeseburgers or whatever you're prone to. In monitoring your EEG, it knows what your weakness is. Whether it's food, alcohol, drugs, doesn't matter. And then it plays you that image. And then the moment you do what the system wants you to do, which is to ingest the drugs or alcohol, it stops the anxiety and the depression. They know which signals cause which. The system is reacting at the speed of light in nanoseconds. It's the fastest computer system on the planet, and all of it can be done from satellite with satellite radar. It's incredibly simple. This is traveling at the speed of light. It's bouncing off the objects. It's sending information. It's receiving information. So what I think people don't understand is you're suffering with this, and you've got bad symptoms, and you're watching this. And if you're a member of the police state, you're watching this to find out what we know and what I know, and that's fine. But you also might be kind of somewhere in the middle. You might be just sort of a slippery state trooper or something that, wants to find out information about, various types of target individuals. That person may not even fully understand that it's being used on them as well. But then again, they're probably not very prone to fighting back or doing anything about it because they're just not that kind of person. It's being used on everybody. Every single, look around you right now, across the street, used to break up a marriage. Their EEGs are being monitored. Now, they've been scanned, and their kids have been scanned. If they've determined that their kid, the parents or the kids, are a threat, meaning that they're prone to speak out, to do something, if they have that feeling, if they're intuitive, if they understand what corrupt governments are doing, they're considered a threat. If they're considered a threat, like if a child is considered a threat, they'll break up the system. And I say they, yes, it's monitored by humans, but it's just an AI. When you hear they, you think, oh, well, a human would do that. It's not a human, it's a machine. It doesn't have feelings, it doesn't care. It doesn't stop and think, this is awful, why would I do this to somebody? It was designed, the algorithm was designed to monitor, detect, and destroy threats. And anybody who might truly fight back, not fight each other. If you're the type of person that would fight, the other political party, then you're actually an asset because you're not fighting the real enemy, our common enemy, which are corrupt governments and the police state and the deep state. If you're not prone to figuring that out, then you're an asset. But if the child is prone to figuring it out, they'll attack the parents. Parents have a fight, right? It might be something little, but then they replay that over and over and over again. The parents, one or both, think that they just can't stop thinking about it. And eventually they just think, you follow that up with a hologram of them signing a divorce paper. You follow that up a nanosecond later with V2K, which they believe is an original thought, where they think to themselves, I really should get a divorce. I can't take this anymore. I don't want to be with this person. This sucks. Anything like that. It's a deep fake of their own voice. They believe that it is an original thought, and you can break up that marriage. That's why the divorce rate has gone so high. Literally all day long, nanosecond by nanosecond, the algorithm and the AI is running to, again, scan, classify, destroy, foster, turn everybody into something that is of value to the plutocracy and the police state that it runs and the deep state that it controls and the military, and turning you into something that is worthwhile, and if you're not worthwhile, getting rid of you. More people have died from this than the Holocaust, easily. You're talking about, preteen girls, they were scanned, or teen girls, they were scanned, and it showed that their EEG showed commonalities with other, potential threats, fighters, activists, and they got on the system, got on them nice and early, and it hid their attacks and their Havana syndrome in a way that drove them to suicide, but looked like it was just medical and natural. Depression, anxiety, suicide. The person on drugs, breaking up a marriage, to the person going to shoot up a school, they see themselves doing it in a hologram, they think that they want to do it with V2K, and then they might just go and do it. That's why you see it's often children, young kids, because they're prone to that. They're susceptible. They're more vulnerable to outside pressures. That's why kids do things based on peer pressure when they're young. Well, this is sort of electronic peer pressure to go and do some horrific thing, to get rid of them and to harm some other people. It says, Dr. Robert Duncan said, he helped to build these systems for the Department of Defense. It's just a big experiment. They want to see what the system can do, but they also want to use it for their benefit, obviously. All day long, it's just scanning threats, making determinations about your value or lack of value, and treating all humans accordingly. And of course, the assets are being helped along. If their EEG has commonalities with people who, John and Kate plus 8 that are going to multiply and never stand for anything, They want more of those people. They're thinking with V2K, I want to have more kids. Hey, we should have another kid so we can pass on our... Those people aren't fighting. Their marriage isn't being broken up. Their marriage is being fostered. Those people are happy as all hell because all day long their radio frequency is of happiness and of comfort. They're getting the opposite of the people who are getting the anxiety and the depression because they're assets. They want them to be healthy. They want them to be happy. They want them to reproduce. They want them to pass on their apathetic genes, their stand-for-nothing genes, to create a society of people who will never fight back. That's how it works.